Hello, students. Today we will discuss Sayyid Amanuddin's poem, Don't Call Me Anglo Indian. Sayyid Amanuddin was born in the year 1934. He is a South Indian and an Indian poet who is settled in the USA. He was both a poet and a critic, wrote in modernistic American tradition on a variety of subjects. He is a prolific writer who has written poems, criticism, and books on philosophy. He is one of the pronounced persons of the poetic world. His style of writing is a different. He has written the poems in an unusual style without using marks of punctuation and capital letters. In this poem also, we will see his unusual style. He also does not like the use of hyphens. He starts a line at the margin and explains it in the lines to follow. Now he writes in English and imagines in English, but do not like to be called an Anglo-Indian because he has a dislike to this term. The poet does not want to be a mixture of culture and language. He does not like the lack of imagination. He dislikes an unsuccessful relationship between an Indian and an English. He dislikes the use of hyphens and calls them artificial values in the name of race, religion, and language. He denounces all labels and label makers. He does not like to be treated like a moon rock specimen, which is analyzed, labeled, and then stored in shelves again and again. Amanuddin says that those people who call him Anglo Indian class him with a small group of writers. They shut him in a courtyard and isolates him from other great poets. This isolation makes him invalid. He says that the river Kaveri flows in his veins. His mind is full of happy associations of his native place in South India. He fondly remembers the Chamund hills, goddess Durga slaying the lemon Mahishasur, and the colorful Brindavan garden fountains of Mysore. However, he is not confined to the childhood scenes. He has broadened his outlook, mastered languages, and discovered truth. He has become enlightened by getting rid of narrow prejudices. He has moved freely like the waves in the oceans of existence. His thoughts are free since he has traversed on the wings of thought. The poet Amanuddin will like to be grouped with great poets like Kalidas, Kabir, Dante, and Umar Khayyam. He would wander in imagination with Kalidas and Kabir. He would undertake a spiritual journey with Dante. He would meditate with Umar Khayyam on the mathematics of life and would sing the painful songs of love and separation with Ghalib. He would drown in Lipo, kissing the moon's reflection in the river. Finally, the poet says that although he writes in English, dreams or imagines in the language of Shakespeare and Keats, but he is not Anglo. Various names and has a rich Indian cultural heritage of 4,000 years. He is now Amanuddin. So, that is a brief description, summary of this poem called Don't Call Me Anglo Indian by Sayyid Amanuddin. So, we have discussed a brief introduction of the poet and the poem in today's lecture. We will read a detailed description of the poem in the next lecture.